Welcome to another vlog. Today we're here with Carter and we're going to Stations of the Cross and Good Friday. So come with us.
Just a few days ago, everyone was in Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover festival. The city was packed with tourists and visitors. They were there to remember how God had passed over their houses in Egypt and saved them from death. Pilate thought that a riot was going to break out. The whole city was in turmoil. In order to keep the peace, Pilate released Barabbas for the crowd. And Pilate handed Jesus over to the soldiers to be crucified. Pilate washed his hands of the decision. They abused him with insults and hit his body with reeds. After all this abuse, they took the purple robe off him. Then they led Jesus away to be crucified.
So thank God and what it's like to be rejected and how Jesus knew those same feelings. So station number 3 is Jesus carries the cross. And then, okay, wait a minute. Okay, and then Jesus meets Simon of Cyrene. And you can imagine, even for Jesus, a man in the crowd, Simon of Cyrene, was there to carry the cross. There was also Veronica who helped Jesus, and many women there who helped Jesus as he walked along. It was a long road and he was very weak. So we can think of a time when you felt burdened and how other people came to help. And then station 5 is Jesus is crucified. So our hammer and nails and paper and pencils and signs are the next to be involved. So they arrived at a place outside of the city where they nailed Jesus to a cross, and they put a sign on the cross saying, Jesus, King of the Jews. People scoffed at him, and the other prisoner who knew Jesus was innocent said, Jesus, remember me today in your kingdom. So we can pretend to hammer the nails. Okay? And we can also write names of people who need to be remembered. So if anyone wants to share, you can write them down or make in your head. And we'll pray for them later. I'm going to write all people who are Thank you.
See, my servant shall prosper. He shall be exalted and lifted up, and shall be very high. Just as there were many who were astonished at him, so made was his presence. The young woman is if there were I would
betrayed him also knew the place, because Jesus often met there with his disciples. So Judas brought a detachment of soldiers together with police from the chief priests and the Pharisees. And they came there with lanterns and torches and weapons. Then Jesus, knowing all that was to happen to him, came forward and asked them, "Whom are you looking for?" They answered, "Jesus of Nazareth." Jesus replied, "I am he." Judas, who betrayed him, was standing with them. When Jesus said to them, "I am he," they stepped back and fell to the ground. Again he asked them, "Whom are you looking for?" And they said, "Jesus of Nazareth." Jesus answered, "I told you that I am he. So are you looking for me? Let these men go. Avoid ritual defilement and to be able to eat the Passover." So Pilate went out to them and said, "What accusation do you bring against this man?" They answered, "If this man were not a criminal, we would not have handed him over to you." Pilate said to them, "Take him yourselves and judge him according to your law." The Jews replied, "We are not permitted to put anyone to death." This was to fulfill what Jesus had said when he indicated the kind of death he was to die. "Do you ask this on your own, or did others tell you about me?" Pilate replied, "I am not a Jew, am I? Your own nation and the chief priests have handed you over to me. What have you done?" Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not from this world. If my kingdom were from this world, my followers would be fighting to keep me from being handed over to the Jews. But as it is, my kingdom is not from here." Pilate asked him, "So you are a king?" Jesus answered, "You say that I am a king. For this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth listens to my voice." Pilate asked him, "What is truth?" After he had said this, he went out to the Jews again and told them, "I find no case against him. But you have a custom that I release someone for you at the Passover. Do you want me to release for you the King of the Jews?" They shouted in reply, "Not this man, but Barabbas." Now Barabbas was a bandit. Then Pilate took Jesus and had him flogged. And the soldiers wove a crown of thorns and put it on his head, and they dressed him in a purple robe. They kept coming up to him, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews," and striking him on the face. Pilate went out again and said to them, "Look, I am bringing him out to you to let you know that I find no case against him." So Jesus came out wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe. Pilate said to them, "Here is the man." When the chief priests and the police saw him, they shouted, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" Pilate said to them, "Take him yourselves and crucify him. I find no case against him." The Jews answered him, "We have a law, and according to that law, he ought to die, because he has claimed to be the Son of God."
The crowd, and he became a figure of bewilderment. He was losing control of the situation. Pilate asks Jesus, "Are you the King of the Jews?" And in essence, Jesus replies that he is, but not in the sense that Pilate means. His kingdom is not of dominion over people's bodies, but over their minds and their souls. The kingdom is not maintained by force, but by the persuasion and perusal of joy and love and truth. suffer and are afflicted in body or in mind, for the hungry and homeless, the destitute and the oppressed, and all who suffer persecution and prejudice, for the sick, the wounded and the handicapped, for those in loneliness, fear, and anguish, for those who face temptation, doubt, and despair, for the sorrowful and bereaved, for prisoners and captives, and those in mortal danger.
Well, Karter, say thank you for coming with us to a beautiful Good Friday service and the Station of the Cross. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe for more of me. Thank you. Thank you.